sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a place. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
Good morning. Welcome to the All Sports, All Plays Network. I am Ray Cruz. I am your host for tonight, for this morning's telecast. The day is the 15th of November, 2022. Monday Night Football, coming off the Monday Night Football, the last undefeated team, the Eagles and the Commanders last night. Some great football action there. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some of the NBA, and we're going to talk about some Major League Baseball free agency today. So, I'd like to welcome everybody to the show. Once again, I am Ray Cruz. We are on the All Sports, All Plays Network. And if you like the contents on this All Sports, All Plays Network, send us some stars. We make more contents here, create more contents, and you can make that happen by sending us some stars if you like this, if you want to contribute to the network, if you enjoy these programmings like the All Sports, All Plays in the morning or the All Sports, All Plays afternoon blitz, the Easy Money, Her in the Huddle, the Horseshoe Talk, the Indianapolis Colts Talk Show with Chris Gonzo and his crew, the Jags Nation with me, the Red Kingdom with Greg and his crew, Unscripted, Touchdown, the College Breakdown crew. We got a lot of shows here going. I'll mention some more shows later on. So let's continue right along to this happiest. Good morning to everybody here on the land. Get your coffee. Rise up with us. Drink some coffee. I got my Coke today. I ain't getting no coffee this morning, but I got some Coke. Got my caffeine going. Yeah, it's good time to be in some football right now. We had the last undefeated team go down today, last night, with some controversial calls in that ball game also, too, in this game to go over some of the referees missed and stuff like that on the Monday Night Football. So let's continue right along here. Let's talk about the Monday Night Football game. Monday Night Football game, the Washington Commanders defeat the Philadelphia Eagles by the score of 32-21. Final from Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. It was a home game for the Eagles. Eagles, the last undefeated team. So I wonder, since most of the people in the 1972 Dolphins has passed away, and Don Shula is the latest one, I think, has passed away, do they still break open the champagne bottle? Because the last undefeated team in the NFL has fallen. Commanders beat them. Not due to some good play by the Commanders, some good turnovers and keying on the turnovers was an excellent job by the Commanders. So now the question that I want everybody to answer here, if you want to go ahead, how many missed calls in this football game did you see for both teams? There were a lot. The most key one was the Eagles getting tackled by a face mask when they turned the ball over on a key play. But then again, on the other hand, the Eagles made some stupid mistakes. Receiver catches the ball. Now, they didn't show you the full replay on that one. The receiver caught the ball, and he got down and got back up and ran. The question is, if they would have gone back to the full replay, did he get touched? We don't know, because ESPN didn't really show that portion of the replay. They showed the portion of the guy going over top of him getting up and running, and then gets tackled and fumbles the ball. So that's some key mistakes in this ball game here, but some crucial mistakes by an undefeated team that they need ball security, and that's the thing. You can't give it up. You got to give it up to the Commanders. They came in, they played tough. They played tough football. Now let's see here. Let's get some people here. Oh, yeah. My stalker here is back. He likes to talk and talk junk. So, anyway. But anyway, let's move right along here. And let's talk about certain things of the key elements of this game here. The Commanders came in and played great defense. But there were some questions about, is Chase Young coming back this week? Didn't play. He was in street clothes. When will Chase Young come back for the Commanders? Because the Commanders' defense is going to get even tougher when he comes back. Because now you have the game plan for him. So that's going to be the question. That's the question that you really, really want to ask yourself here. Commanders, now they're what? They're 5-5, back at 500. Everybody in that NFC East division is over 500 or at 500 now, thanks to the win by the Commanders. That division has over 0.703% of winning. That's a high mark. You're winning over 70% of your games in that division. That's the thing about the NFC East this year. It is one of the toughest divisions in football. We thought the AFC West was going to be the toughest, but the NFC East has now proven that they are going to be tough. They're playing some great football in the NFC East. So, the Cowboys lost to the Green Bay Packers. But it's going to be some tough football in this NFC East. By that win by the Commanders last night, as they brought the Eagles back within, the Cowboys back within. Let's check the standings here real quick here. In that NFC East, the Giants are one game behind the Eagles now, 7-2. The Cowboys are 2 games behind the Eagles now at 6-3. The Washington Commanders are now 5-5. And they're now 4 games behind. I mean, if you look at it, Eagles has won 88% of their games. Giants have won 77% of their games. Cowboys won 60% of their games. And now the Commanders have won 50% of their games. So that is the thing. But now you're gonna have the race for the best record. You got Minnesota 8-1. Eagles are now 8-1 in the NFC. Tampa Bay comes in at 5-5. They lead the NFC South. NFC West is now 6-4 Seattle, a 5-4 San Francisco 49ers, a 4-6 Cardinals, and a 3-6 Los Angeles Rams in that NFC West. We have seen in weeks leading up, the Eagles were mostly dominating most of their opponents. Yeah, a few teams that get here and there got on them. But you got to tip your hats off to the Commanders last night. They did some good stuff in this game. They turned the Eagles over. Scored on, capitalized on the turnovers. That's what they needed to do. When you force a team over, you got to capitalize. You still have possession. You got to capitalize. Heineke played great out of his mind. Yeah, this team was tough. The Eagles are tough. Commanders are tough. They fight. They don't give up. They fight. Even though their record's only 5-5. Rivera's team is going to fight you to the end of that fourth quarter, to that final thing. If you don't play your top-notch games, their defense has been it's been good. But their offense has been maligned some games. But now you got to worry about Chase Young starting to get healthy. There are rumors that he wasn't going to play this week. Didn't terribilize. He was in street clothes. But Chase Young, that comes back on that defense. How effective will he be? And you got a game plan for him now. So that's going to open up some other people on this Redskins on this Commanders defense. Is the Commander setting himself up for a run? We know they're going to have a stout defense when Young comes back. But how would that offense go from this game now and move forward? Does this game give them confidence? They beat an undefeated team. Now, Jalen Hurts, now we'll find out what the Eagles are made out of once they got that first loss. We don't have a sample size of them coming back from a loss yet because they were undefeated. So now, will we see how would Hurts and the Eagles react to their first loss of the season? When some teams are undefeated and they get their first loss, sometimes it goes into a little spiral and they go into a downward area. I mean, if you go back and look at the game film, yeah, you're going to see some calls that was questionable on both teams. The Eagles are going to go back and see that face mask that they got that the Commanders got away with, but led it to a turnover. Let's take a scenario if they did call that face mask. The turnover will never happen. They will get the ball 15 yards from the previous spot of the play. We wouldn't know if they would have kept going down the field and tried to score to take the lead. We'll never know now. But the guy catch the ball, got up and ran, fumbled. He didn't protect because as soon as he got up, he didn't protect the ball. If you watch when he got up, when the Eagles receiver got up and started running the football, he did not secure it immediately because he didn't think somebody was going to be close by to get on top of him. Soon he got up and took maybe like 2 or 3 steps. He was getting tackled, and the ball was out in front of his body. That gave enough for the Commanders' defensive back to get up and come over top and knock that ball away. For you young people out there, ball security. You have to protect the football at all costs because you don't know when somebody's going to come up behind and hit you. You don't know when somebody's going to come up and try to knock the daylights out of you. But when you unprotect the football, 9 times out of 10, somebody from behind is going to come and knock that ball out. And that's what the Commanders did. You have to give them credit. Did not give up on the play. And that's another thing for you young people, too. When you play the game, you get burnt, don't give up. Chase them down. You never know. You could knock the ball out and get a big turnover still. That's something that you want to take away as people learning football. That's what some of the people you want to take away and look at. You want to look at that. But I mean, if you go look at this now, right now, you got a two-way team now. Right now, Minnesota and Philadelphia Eagles are both 8-1. They're battling for the outright home field advantage come playoff time. That's going to be an interesting race to go. Look at right there. Both teams are 8-1. That's going to be a key. Who will get home field advantage? And how will the regular season play out now for the Eagles? I mean, if you look at what the Eagles got left on their schedule, it's tough. Their schedule is tough. The Eagles' schedule is tough here on out. You got the Indianapolis Colts that go to Indianapolis this on the 20th at 1 p.m. on CBS. Green Bay comes to you on a Sunday Night Football on the 27th of November. The Titans will come to you on the 4th of December at 1 p.m. You got to go to New York. The Eagles does on the 11th of December. You go to Chicago on the 18th of December. You got to go to the Cowboys on the road. So they got 3 road games in December, back to back, back to back to back. It starts on the 11th of December and goes all the way on the 18th and the 24th, Christmas Eve. And then you close that at home against the Saints on the 1st of January, New Year's Day. And then the time is determined on the 8th of January. You play the New York Giants. So you got right now, you have exactly 1, 2, 3 divisional games left on your schedule. Giants twice, Cowboys 1. But then you got to take care of your business against the Green Bay Packers, the Titans, the Bears, and the Saints. You have exactly 1, 2. You have 4 home games left, 3 road games left. And the 3 road games they have left are back to back to back. Chicago Bears team is getting a little bit better with Justin Fields on the field, on the thing. Justin Fields this last week gave me 70 points on my fantasy football team. It's not going to be a given. Cowboys they lost to the Packers, but they gave Packers a tough time. They'll probably be better in the next 3 to 4 weeks. The Giants, they've been playing great football too. They got a good shot. The Giants got a good shot because right now, if they keep winning where they're doing, they got the Eagles twice on the schedule. They haven't played the Eagles once yet. They played the first game at MetLife Stadium on the 11th of December. And then you got to go to the New Year's on the 8th of January. The Eagles will play the Giants at home. So if it comes all the way down to that last week, and say the Giants won December 11th. Giants already got one game head-to-head competition on them. Now say the team comes in tied, or it comes in. Say the Eagles come in with a one game lead on them, but they already beat them on the 11th. It comes down to that last game against the Giants. If the Cowboys are not sitting right there at when it comes on the 24th of December. So you got to look, the Cowboys and the Giants have a good shot of beating these Eagles teams in their coming weeks. So I mean, if you look at this realistically, the Eagles gonna have to play tough football here on out. They can't take no more downfalls. They can't play like they did last night. They played down to their competition last night. That's basically what that came down to. They played down to their competition last night, and the bottom tier competition beat them. That's why it says football is any given Sunday or any given Monday now. Any team can beat any team in the NFL on any given day. That's something that you really, really got to take from this game. You can't take any team lightly. That's the memorial of this game. You cannot take any team lightly in the NFL, even what the record says. Because some teams play better than what their record is because they have a few hiccups in the games. Some teams are 3-7, but they have played better than what that 3-7 record is. You got to play up every game. If you're on that top tier level, you got to play up every game. You got to play you got to be better than your competition. The Eagles sucked down last night. Didn't play their best football game like they have played in the past. But sometimes it's hard when you're undefeated too. In the NFL, a lot of pressure. Because you have the people in 1972, you playing against a mythical team of the 1972 Dolphins. The only undefeated team to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, we had Brady and the New England Patriots go all the way up into the Super Bowl undefeated until the Giants beat them. But it comes down to being the last undefeated team in the NFL, which the Eagles was. The pressure got to them last night. You have to play perfect football, minimum mistakes possible to keep that undefeated record going. And sometimes that pressure will get to you during games that you expect to win, but you don't. I mean, that's something that you got to think about. That's something that Eagles fans got to think about now. So the football season has now turned interesting, playoff bound. People are setting the playoffs, getting themselves distance from other teams that are not playoff contentions. But sometimes these unplayoff contention teams can hurt the people that are going in the playoff and where they're going to be seated too. So I won't be surprised this ain't the last upset you see in the NFL this year. All right, let's go around the NFL top headlines this morning. What is the top headlines? We told about Chase Young was one of the hot news going around the NFL, going around the NFL league. He was said that there were some rumors that he was coming back this week, but he didn't. He was on street clothes. Commanders still won. So what's the pop-up? If he comes back their next game. Some of the sources are coming around. Some of the lanes are coming around saying that he could play Sunday against the Houston Texans. But I don't see that happening. I don't see that. It depends on, because you had to write ACL and the MCL. That's tough. Coming back from two injuries like that. I had an ACL done in high school. I had an MCL done when I was in the Navy. It took me a while to get back to a full 100% that I needed to be. Knee injuries are tough. Right now, I'm suffering from arthritis from all the surgeries I had in my left knee. Other changes, it hurts. So, he's going to feel some discomfort in the ACL, MCL area of his knee. I'm glad they didn't rush him back. Because, if you rush people back from injuries like this, and if they're not ready to play on it, they could re-injure it. I like the way the Commanders handled Chase Young's injury. Say, hey, look, we're going to give you time to get back to you're fully healthy, that you can play on, that you feel comfortable, not risking to re-injure it again. It's 10 games into the season. and they're 5-5 without him. But just think about when he gets that back in that lineup. That's just going to be a dangerous defense. Because now when you game plan for the Commanders, you have to have the game plan against Chase Young. But when he comes back, when you know he's coming back, now you got to get the defensive coordinators another person you got to game plan against. How do you effectively game plan against him? Take it back and go down and chip him? Take a tight end and chip him? Got to do something because he's too fast, too skillful. A tackle cannot handle him by himself. Now, if you get a good tackle like that who's good on one-on-one and can play him, it's good on you. But how does that come on? I mean, if you look at it Jack Del Rio said Young, this is a quote from Jack Del Rio, he said from his press conference. Jack Del Rio said Young was still not doing everything at full speed. So I don't think he will play against the Texans. I think he'll probably come back within a crucial game. To me, if I was the Commanders, and if I was looking at the Commanders' schedule, I go back and let me pull their schedule up real quick here on their team site here real quick. Let's pull up the Commanders' schedule here. If I was the Commanders, and I'm looking, because 11-20, you got 5 days before you play the Texans. The 27th against the Falcons, that might be the key. That might be the game that you might want to bring him back. Or you set him out for these 2 weeks because you're playing the Texans and then you're playing the Falcons, who are better than what their record is showing. But you play them, and then let me bring up the calendar real quick here on that note here. Let me bring up the calendar real quick here. The next week, after the Falcons, play the Giants. You have the Giants. The 4th, you have your bye week, and then you come out of your bye week, and guess who you play? The Giants again. That's the Commanders. So the 4th of December, you play the Giants at MetLife Stadium. You come out of your bye week off the 11th. Is your bye week. You come off your bye week on the 18th. You play the Giants again. If I was the Commanders, I would keep Chase Young out against the Texans and the Falcons and have him come back for the first Giants meeting on the 4th. Because the simple reason you do that is you play him on the 4th. He gets a bye week the following after he plays to make sure everything is great. He gets a week off after he plays. And if he seems fine and he's good after that, now you might see him play minimum snaps. You might see him play probably about 15 to 20 snaps against the Giants on his way back. That's good. Get him out there for 15 to 14 plays. Get him out there on obvious passing downs. Let him play that. Let him rush to the passer. Then you get that week off to make sure everything is still good. If it is, then you increase the snaps even more against the Giants again on the 18th coming out of your bye week. So that's something that the Commanders have to look at. Can they withstand the 2 more weeks without him? They play the Texans. That's going to be a good game because you got the rookie running back Pierce for the Texans. So that could be a good one that you can set them out with. Then you got Marcus Mariota for the Falcons the following week. Then you bring him back for the Giants. Play him 15 to 20 snaps maybe. Get the bye week, you test them out a little bit more, you increase more playing time on the Giants coming out of your bye week. So I mean, that's something that you got to really look at on your schedule. Can you beat the Texans, and can you beat the Falcons without Chase Young? That's something that's mind blowing right there. All right, the NFL has came out and said that the games in Spain and France are on our radar next. Is the NFL setting themselves up for an international conference? Be interesting. If they set themselves up for an international conference, have them play an international schedule, then you have the Super Bowl, have the version, the NFL American version versus the NFL International for the championship. Is that on the radar for the NFL? Is that what the NFL is trying to do here for these international games? We've seen it over in London. Tampa was in Germany. Spain and France. They played games in Mexico. They're looking at France. They're looking at Spain next. Is this the verge? Are we going to see the NFL have a U.S. version and an international version, and then set themselves up to play the NFL American team, will play the international team in a Super Bowl? Damian came out and said NFL World Cup. It could be. That could be that's a good iteration right there too. Now, my question is, you play the regular Super Bowl in America. The winner of that Super Bowl plays the international winner of the international Super Bowl and call it the NFL World Cup. You could do it that way too. The NFL has been putting it overseas in the last few years. London's been successful. Mexico game's been successful. The Germany game was successful this last week. Now they're looking at Spain and France. They're trying to spread American football over like the European soccer, which is European football over there. It's called football over there. It's called soccer over here. They have brought that flavor back over here into the U.S. with the World Cups of the United States women's team and then the Americans team. So, I mean, the international flavor has moved over here with soccer. Why can't America move over there with football? I mean, we had the European League over there. They did okay. But now we're talking about an NFL International League possibility where the winner of their Super Bowl plays the winner of the American Super Bowl and call it the NFL World Cup championship. That's a very interesting take on that. I like that idea, Damon. But is that what they really are trying to set up? Because we know that if you're trying to set up a league to come over from the U.S., going from the West Coast to all the way over to London, it's a long travel for teams. Now, if you do the idea I'm thinking they're trying to do international league, yes, that'd be good. Where you could set up your one side, have them play over there in Europe and everything, and then meet in a place. Like you have one championship between the two over here in the U.S. Following you have the championship over there in Europe. So, I mean, that's something you can really think about, too. That's something that the NFL is looking like they're taking it seriously here. So, could we see an international NFL league that plays on the same Sunday to where they get to like the 9:30 games, early games, 8:30? And then the NFL changes over to the afternoon for America? Do you think if NGL does do an international league that we could see NFL in the Olympics? I don't know. That's gonna have to take a lot of planning because I mean the physicality of football. That's the thing about the physicality of football. Where the NFL players agreed to play in the Olympics, put their body on the line. That's something that the NFL Player Association and the NFL has to come to agreement with. How do they govern that? Do they really govern it? If it's going to come down to the injuries of the players aspect of the game of the NFL. Right now, I will say no. They're not gearing up to it. I think this is a better option. Is you play the NFL regular season in America, you play the NFL National, and then you have the two winners play in like a cup. That's one way that they could do it. But them playing in the Olympics, the NFL players playing in the Olympics, that's another animal. Because you put another game, another physicality game on players that probably need to rest up and get ready for the next season. So how would they do that? You really couldn't, really, because you're risking injuries if you make them play the summer games. You're risking injuries before the NFL season starts. Now, that's something in a total animal is different that you have to really think about there too, because like I said, the injury aspects, how they going to govern it. What games will they play in? Because they play during the Winter Olympics. I know it's every 4 years, but they play during the time of the Winter Olympics. So you really can't. Are you going to take a pause and a break like the NHL does? If they play the summer games, you're risking injuries right after OTAs and training camp. You're risking injuries before they even come into training camp. So they have to train themselves and get in physical condition and hoping they didn't get hurt in the game. Could cost them, say if somebody tears their ACL or MCL in their knee, they're done for the NFL season. And you play them in the Olympics. You already risked their NFL career or their NFL game time because they got injured during the Summer Olympic Games. Same thing with the Winter Olympics. They take a pause and they go play in the Winter Olympics. They get hurt. They're done for the season. So I think NFL, if they do it, it will probably have to be a flag football type deal. Low injuries, no impacts on bodies, and you're pulling a flag. That's the only way I can see them playing in the Olympic Games, any kind of type of football. It will probably have to be flag football. To try the low amount of the injuries that they really would have. So I mean, good comment there, but still, I think it's a low risk. It's a high risk, low rewards for the NFL players, and a lot of things could happen to teams because you could change the course of a team's. You could change the course of a team's outcome in a direction if you play in the Olympics and you get hurt. Low risk, high rewards. I mean, high risk, low rewards on that one. All right. The question now is Cooper Kupp done for the season? For the Rams, since the Rams thinks they're out of NFL playoff contentions, do they shut down Cooper Kupp? Get him fully healthy for next year. He's dealing with a high ankle. He's dealing with a high ankle sprain. We know a high ankle sprain is bad. It takes a while to recover from that. That is something that you really got to think about there if you're the Rams. In the long run sense, you know you're out of contention. Do you risk bringing him back out when his time of recovery is probably going to be 4 to 6 weeks? If he's already out and you're going to lose probably more games because Cooper Kupp is one of your best players at the wide receiver, do you risk him in long-term injury fashion, or you just shut him down now, put him on the IR, tell his season's over, and come back next year and try to redo what you did 2 years ago? To me, the simple thing is I don't like seeing people get hurt, but I also don't like to see people lose their career over it either. If I was the GM of the Rams, I would go tell the owner, I will talk to the coach, the training staff, how severe is his high ankle sprain? If it's serious enough and he comes back and the trainer comes back and says, hey, it's very serious, I will tell the coach, I'm making a call, we're going to set him. We're going to put him on the IR. His season will be over. Shut him down. He gets from now until next July to get back in, to get rehab, get it fully healed up. Because sometimes them high ankle injury sprains will linger on. Play with discomfort. I would tell Cooper Kupp, hey, man, gave you your best. Your injury is severe. We're going to protect you, putting you on the IR. I would shut Cooper Kupp down completely. That's my taking on it, on the NFL. And that's what's going on around the NFL right now. So let's move around here. Let's go around to the NBA. Let's talk about. Let's go around the NBA news around the league here. Some of the NBA news. Wiseman has gone to the G League. Don't think it as a promotion with the Golden State Warriors that are talking about. They get him down there, getting him some reps. He's coming back off injuries. They want to make sure he's fully capable of playing at a top-notch caliber. Why you think the G League was formed? It's for reasons like this. Players get injured. We send them down into the G League, get some playing time, get back some experience, get your mind off your injury. Because, when players come back, that's the first thing they look for is make sure they play to their capabilities, but they also make sure they don't get hurt. So they play cautious the first few weeks until they get comfortable. Damon says Ram has nothing to play for. Might as well put him on IR. There is not a reason to risk injuries when their season is over. That's true. That's what I talked about there. Good job there. Good comment. Let's move right along to the NBA here. The G League is a good spot for Wiseman because two reasons. It solves two issues. Gives him playing time. Plus, it gives him a 2 to 3 weeks type deal to play on his injuries, to make sure it ain't going to get re-injured, make sure he's comfortable with it, and gets his mind off of it before he gets back into regular competition up in the NBA. That's what baseball do. If you look at baseball players, they go down to the minor league to rehab. Why can't the NBA do the same thing with the G League? Send players down to rehab. Most people think it's always he's getting depromoted. No, he's going down for rehab. You classify it as he's taking a rehab assignment. What does Major League Baseball do? Oh, we send in like Acuna, and he got injured. Send him down to the AAA team down for the Braves. Designated for recovery or injury assignment. It's a good way to do it. Because you solve your issues. It solves everything that you need a player's mind to be focused on. You don't want him to be coming back off of injuries. Go straight into the NBA lineup, and he's out there playing, I'm thinking I'm going to re-injure myself. And he could be a liability on defense. Not playing capable abilities up to the point of his game. We know Golden State needs everybody on deck. Healthy. So you designate Wiseman. Send him down to the G League, which is good. It's not a demotion. It's rehab. It's getting his mind off his injury, getting him experience, getting him back playing full contact basketball without risking more and more type injuries with bigger players in the NBA. Yeah, I won't say that he might not get injured down there in the G League, but it's still, it serves to him the purpose of getting his confidence back. When players get injured, to get the confidence back on their injured leg, you have to rehab. What better place to rehab than sending him down to the G League? The Nets, Kyrie Irving's story is still going. Is that seventh game due to the suspension he's missed? Interesting thing that came up today on the news line here on the AP Sports is that Golden State Warriors are pausing all FTX-related promotional assessment to teams, told ESPN the final FTX promotion will be on Jordan Poole's bobblehead given out at Chase Center on Monday. It's back on Monday night. So they have now done all the FTX promotions. They're putting it on pause. So no more FTX promotions for the Golden State Warriors. So there you go. That's a little bit of not major news. How about this? The resurgence of AD. Anthony Davis leads the Lakers to win after resurgent Darvin Ham. I got you back. They play the Nets. Now they're back. Oh, okay. That statement is erotic, out of portion. You don't know if Anthony Davis is really back. You're just telling it off one game against the Brooklyn Nets. I would make that statement after you probably won about 5, 6, maybe 10 games in a row. You won a game against the New Jersey Nets, and all of a sudden, Darvin Ham comes out and said Anthony Davis is resurgent. I got him back. That's just one game. One game example of him playing back to his capability. I like to see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I would like to see 10 games in a row of him dominating a game before I would have made that statement. Now, if the Lakers come out and lose their next game, what are you going to say there? I thought you said then you look into the coach. Yeah, you said that you got him back. What happened to this game? Why do you lose? People got to think when they make statements like that. They got to think about it. You're in the day of social media. You come out and say something, it's going to be blasted on the internet. It's going to be blasted on Facebook. It's going to be blasted on Twitter, Instagram. You got so much stuff out here that you can get stuff blasted to what you just said, but you only have one game example of it. And you played against a team that has a losing record. 6-8 Brooklyn Nets. Yeah, as I said, the Lakers are 3-10. That game last night, they just won their first game. They're on a one-game winning streak. And he makes a statement like that. Now you gotta hope you come out and you win your next game. And hope Anthony Davis is playing like what he did last night. They got to play Detroit on the 18th tonight. No, in 3 days. At 10:30 at Staples Center. That's the thing, that when people make statements like that, it just doesn't carry weight because you only have one win when you said that. That was your first win when you said that. You don't know if a player is back until you start getting on a winning streak. When that winning streak goes from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. You could came out and said Anthony Davis played better than he has played in the past. They gave us the win. Westbrook came out and had a key block in the game, and Anthony Davis gave Westbrook credit. But when you just came out and Blaine out says that Anthony Davis is back, and it was the first game you won, and you're on a one-game winning streak because you just won the game against the Brooklyn Nets, who is 6-8. It's a bad look for Darvin Ham. It really is. It is a bad look for Darvin Ham, making a statement like that. I would have made that statement if he continued to play 10 straight games good like that. I wouldn't have no problem with that statement. Because you gave me 10 games, example, you gave me 10 games in a row. You started off the season at 2-9, 2-10. You are now 10-10. You won 10 in a row. So now you're 12-10. I would have said, okay, now you came out of that statement. Now I see you gave me 10 game example. You gave me 10 game winning streak. You cannot say that statement after just one game. Because you don't know what he's going to do the next night. He might have this great game this night and turn around and give you a flat out poor game the next night. That's why you don't make these statements until you get people a great sample size of winning in a row. Or 10 games in a row, he's playing great. If I was him, I just would never made that statement. I said, Anthony Davis played great. That's why we won this game. Let's see if he can continue to play like this. And then after that, then you could say that you're back. Anyway, but anyway, let's go move right along. These people, some of these people like Malik Williams thinks he knows everything. He just thinks he knows everything. So, but anyway. My knowledge about sports is better than most anybody that's like you. So, but I mean, if you look at it that way too, you cannot tell them that Anthony Davis is back after one good game like that. I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that. Because in my eyes, I say, okay, what happened to the 10 games that you lost? What happened? All of a sudden now he's back in one game. Idiotic. Don't sound like that. So, we're going to take a break here. The show is sponsored by Jason DeLay. If you're in Arizona, if you're looking for a house, call him. He's a great guy out in Arizona. If you're looking for a house out in Arizona, he's the person you need to call. He sponsors the All Sports All Place Network. We'll be back after these messages.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
What did you say?
I said Kobe Bean Bryant has been overrated ever since he passed away.
Now, I'd say they could lose about 4, but I don't see them losing 5. You know what I mean?
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
This is the Fox D Streaming Network. Register to come on our channel at foxdnetwork.com.
Welcome back to the All Sports All Place in the morning. I am Ray Cruz. I am your host on the All Sports All Place Network. You see down at the bottom all our two channels, Facebook, if you're on Facebook. If you're also on Facebook here, if you want to send the All Sports All Place some stars, for capability of making more shows like this, you continue to support our network. You can send us some stars on Facebook. So let's continue right along here. Let's continue here on some of these NBA action last night. Let's go around the NBA scoring from last night. You got the Hornets over the Magic, 112-105. The Toronto Raptors over the Pistons, 115-111. Celtics over the Thunder, 126-122. The Suns lose to the Heat, 113-112. The Clippers over the Rockets, 122-106. The Hawks over the Bucks, 121-106. The Warriors, 132 over the San Antonio Spurs, 95. That is your NBA action from last night. But anyway, let's move right along here in this show here. Let's take a look. We've been through some of the footballs. We've been through the NBA action. We talked about around the NBA league. Let's go around to any big splashes in the Major League Baseball here. Let's go around the Major League Baseball top stories of the night so far. The Mariners stars Rodriguez named American League Rookie of the Year. Harris edges Braves teammate Strider for the National League Rookie of the Year. The last time that happened was also the Braves players. Marlins named O'Connor president of historic hire. Puig, the Los Angeles Dodgers plead guilty to illegal sports gambling. That's around that. That's also a Puig. Cobb batted for the rookie season sales for $1,075,000. $1 million for a rookie bat. People got money, man. You know, I wish I had something this much money to go around and buy in the sports memorabilia like that. And then the Cubs released 5-time Gold Glove outfielder Gordon Hayward. So, any big splash in the free agency. Let's check. Let's go to the free agency tracker here. Let's check some of these free agency out here on this thing. So we still got Aaron Judge out there. We still got Trey Turner. We still got Jake DeGrom. We got Carlos Carrera. Are they signing? Are they asking too much money? Ask the question because nobody has been signed yet. And free agents has been going on since November 10th. We had some signings here and there, but we have no big ass signings. So I mean, that's the question. Why haven't we had any big splash signings? I mean, if you look at Drake, DeGrom said he came out and directly said that he wants to beat Stryber's money. He wants to average $40 million a year. It was a 4-year deal. The Braves have offered him a 1-year deal, $40 million, with a second-year option. Actually, it's a 2-year deal, $40 million, with an option after 1 year. He can opt out. That is something that you really got to think about. All right, I really don't want to comment these people that are trying to hack me and stuff like that, but it's just funny how these people just want to come out here and just be hackling to be hackling. They don't get me. But anyway, let's continue right along here. Any signings on November 12th? Marino returns to the Astros with a 3-year deal. Rafael Romero agreed to a 3-year deal, $34.5 million contract. That happened on the 12th. 11th, the Rockies shored up bullpen with Herrera. Colorado's agreed to $3.5 million to Jose Herrera. The Braves signed Nick Anderson, which is kind of good to still up their bullpen. So, but anyway, if you look at that thing, so then you got and then he's like the contract with the Braves has signed with Nick Anderson, the right-hander Nick Anderson, to a 1-year deal, non-guaranteed split contract on Friday, earning Anderson $875,000 while he is in the majors, $185,000 if he's in the minors. So I mean I think that's a good offset right there. The Dodgers went on ahead. We mentioned that on November 10th. The big name was Clayton Kershaw, the only big name that's really out there, and then Robert Suarez for the Padres. We already mentioned that. So nothing else notable on the free agency tracker. That is something that baseball is. We're thinking that the top free agents, Aaron Judge, DeGrom, Guerrero, and Trey Turner, are asking big money, bigger money than what teams are expecting to pay. That is something that we have to see here. When you talk about somebody's mom, you might want to ask them if their mother's dead yet or not, because that's just rude. Because I'm gonna tell you what, you keep talking about my mom. That's awful. You're totally disrespectful. Because my mother's been dead since 2000. Very touchy subject. Stop bringing my mom and stuff. Point blank. But anyway, let's move right along here. I don't have respect when somebody's talking about my mom. If you want to mention my mom, I'm just gonna let y'all straight out know. My mother's passed away. My mom is number one in my heart. Don't disrespect her. Because right now, God is looking at you. So, but anyway, so, So if you look at this certain thing on the free agency market has nothing big right now to report except for Nick Anderson, a few more signings here and there. But hopefully by Christmas time or a little bit after Christmas time, it'll pick up. Hopefully it'll pick up before Christmas time. Maybe these guys get the Christmas present. Maybe their manager, maybe they'll go down with some of their numbers. But the big interesting one is, who is Aaron Judge going to sign with? There's been reports out there San Francisco is involved. He's from California. So does he give does he give San Francisco a little bit of discount? Probably not. The Yankees still involved, yes. Can the Yankees pay it? Yes. I mean, that's something that what's going to be big here. So now he wants to pick on my dad. My dad been dead for over 30 years, dude. This dude is just unbelievable. Unbelievable what some people do. You know, being disrespectful. That's just disrespectful people, man. But it's good because you know what? I'm famous now because when famous people get famous, they get a heckler. I got a heckler. Good job. So, but anyway, so you know. So not too much to report on the free agents in Major League Baseball and stuff like that. So, you know, let's go. I'd like to send out some prayers here to the University of Virginia with the 3 players that passed away. Keep prayers out to their family. Totally uncalled for in sports to have an incident like this play out at the University of Virginia. We had that mass shooting at Virginia Tech. Prayers go out to the University of Virginia, to their players. So, I'd like to take a moment, have a moment of silence for the University of Virginia, the football players, their families. Thank you. But anyway, so you know if you look at certain things here and stuff like that, so in sports overall, Monday Night Football was a sloppy but a good entertaining game. You always like to see the underdog do good against the top rating team. What they did. So anyway, so you know, it's always a stir up controversy on Tuesday here. We got fights in the chat room. If you want to come on the All Sports All Plays Network, hit us up. We're looking for people to come on and join like the morning shows, join like different shows here. If you want to join the network, send us an email at the All Sports All Plays 2020@gmail.com. So if you want to do that, you can. We can get you around here. But it's always been a great time here on the morning show. I got some stuff I need to get done here. I got some other stuff in the making. I spent an hour with y'all guys. Thanks for joining. Thanks for Damien for your interaction there. Thanks for Malik Williams and whatever kind of interaction he has. But, you know, I always send thanks to people. You know, always be in respect because if people tell you suck and stuff like that, you send them some respect back and saying thank you. You know, it kind of offsets their little minds. But, you know, anyway, you got little minds there. So, you know, it's always have fun. It's always fun to have a heckler, you know. I always want to see what an athlete feels like when somebody gets heckled. Hey, and that's what it does. Hey, it's good. It's all pleasing entertainment, you know, putting on a good show. Now he wants to hop on. Should I let him hop on? See what kind of notes this guy's got. But if he disrespects, I will pop him off. I'm gonna tell you that. if you come on this show, I'll bring you on. But when you come on this show, you got to be respectful. If you show any disrespect, because we don't allow that on the All Sports, All Plays Network. I'm going to tell you that straight out. Oh, yeah, see, that's exactly what he wants to do. Because when you say that, you cannot come on a show and you want to talk sports and you want to be professional about it, then you can do that. But if you don't want to be professional about it, I'm not going to bring you on. Because, first of all, if you can't make your point of view with respect, then then you're not good. Because if you show any disrespect to people, that's just disrespectful. Period. So, I mean, I'm not going to bring you on. You can say you're going to be respectful all you want to. You just say you're not respectful. So I'm not bringing you on. Because I'm going to tell you that. Because I'm not going to bring on a disrespectful person. Point blank. You say you're going to be disrespectful, you're not coming on. So I don't care. You can say all you want to, because I'm more respectful to people's feelings. If you want to come on and talk sports, come on and talk sports. You can be respectful about it. But if you're going to talk bad about somebody, this show is not for you. You can carry on. I don't even know why you comment anyway if you don't like the show, if you don't like me personally. That's the first thing. Apparently, he likes the show because he's staying around talking all kinds of junk. Because if you don't like the show, if I don't like a TV, I'm going to tell you what, if I don't like a TV show, I'm not going to return and watch that TV show ever again if I don't like it. Apparently, you come on every time I show up on the network, you keep coming on and talking junk. So, I mean, that's just that. And your comment of you talking my mama, you started it first with my mom. So I don't want to tell it. You disrespect my mom, I'm going to disrespect your mom, period. You owe me an apology first because you're the one who said it first. So, no. When you disrespect my mom first, and I don't get an apology first, and I have to apologize to you first, that's not right. So, when you keep on, but you're disrespectful, that's a no-no to me because I'll tell you what, the good man upstairs knows who started what. So. Oh, now I'm fat. I applaud you. So anyway, I'm not going to sit here and point fingers who started what. I'm a grown ass man. I'm more of a man than you will ever be, and I'm done with you. So from this on forward, you come on and talk all your junk. Go ahead, because I'm just going to ignore you. But anyway, let's move right along. We got that little out of the works here. The dude's going to keep coming back. It does regardless of what show I do. Hey, Martin Mary, because since I'm not getting any reviews, I'm getting reviews from you. So you still making the show happen? I like when people say, you don't get reviews and stuff like that, but, that's just funny. Dude, you're the one that started on the Jags Nation. You used to want to start talking all your junk on Jags Nation. So if you want to give me an apology, go ahead. Because I'm not going to apologize to you first when you're the one that started this mess. So, no, see, I don't stoop down to people, peer pressuring other people. That's just peer pressure. And, no. I'm too good for that. But anyway, It's been a great show. I got to run. I got some other business I need to take care of today. Anyone wants to know where I'm from? Dude, I live in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm from North Carolina. I was in the Navy for 20 years. You want to know about my life? I'll tell you about my life. I was born and raised in Henderson, North Carolina. I joined the military when I was 19 years old. I'm the one that found my dad dead at 18. While I was still in high school. In 1990. I graduated in 1991. Went into the Navy in 1992. I did 20 years in the United States Navy. I did 2 tours, one in Iraq and one in Afghanistan during the war. I was sent IA into the United States Army from the Navy to offset their forces in Afghanistan in 2007. I have watched my best friend Pat die. I have watched my OIC get murdered during my time. I have seen a lot of stuff that I don't want to share. I don't need to talk to nobody about anything in my life. Because when people come up and start talking junk to you, being disrespectful first, and then thinks somebody else who comes back and talks junk back to them needs to apologize first, it's inconsiderate because you're the one that started it, not me. So I'm getting off my soapbox on this. I don't need it. Dude, I'm over this guy. Anyway, so it's been a good show. I'll be back tomorrow at 10 o'clock on the All Sports All Place. This is the All Sports All Place in the morning. I am Ray Cruz. Everybody have a good day. Check out the Afternoon Blitz at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time and at 3 easy money. If you want to learn about the betting, 3 o'clock is your show. Chris Gonzo and his crew does a very good job there. All Sports, All Place. Stay tuned. Keep trying. Go to our website. The schedule is up on our website to see what time your favorite show is on. Until we meet again, I am Ray Cruz. This is All Sports, All Place in the morning on the All Sports, All Place Network. Have a good day.
All Sports, All Plays. Yeah. All Sports, All Plays. All Sports, All Plays. 365, we making a plays. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all